Hello, this is Mishanta Nepali. Welcome to HST Adventures Talk. Today we are going to talk about few things which is related to mountains, climbing and expeditions. Today we are going to talk about drinking and breathing methods on mountain.
Good afternoon, good morning, and namaste, guys. Welcome to this first HST session. We're gonna focus on about the mountain, which is related to the breathing today. And just a quick about the my experience and kind of on this subject on this matter. Obviously, I've been leading and climbing the mountain Everest, K2, Dhaulagiri, and a lot of other 6,000 meter in the Europe and America. Basis on that, in my experience, I find very relevant. First and foremost is breathing. So I think breathing is obviously in day-to-day life we do 23 to 24,000 times, and which is much more pertinent for our daily both all dimension of health. And specifically today we're gonna talk about the breathing and mountain, and which is related to each other. So I think the most important thing for us is, as we are aware, on the ground level or in a sea level, there's 21% of molecules of oxygens, and as we go up to the let's say 8,848, which is highest mountain in the world, which is theoretically the percentage of molecule of oxygen is still the same, but however, due to the biometric pressure, and the oxygen matter is shows almost like 7% thing. It's just due to the atmospheric pressure on the air. So to that end, obviously, if we are not conscious about the normal breathing pattern, and if we do too much of breathing, which is also um, gonna prone to the acute mountain sickness. And if we are not doing enough breathing technique, then obviously we're gonna expose with the lesser amount of the oxygen in our body system, which is definitely gonna affect our succeed of whatever the mission we have on the mountain. So to then the most important thing is the in our body we have got the parasympathetic nerve system, which is obviously interrelated from our neck towards our pelvis, which is all connected with our major organ of our body system, and which is directly every time we take a breath, inhale and exhale, it will connect it all the major organ, which is then produce the message and communicate it each other. So that is also another thing which is very interesting, and fact we need to concentrate on the breathing. So other thing when we're talking about the mountain is every time, especially if we concentrate and focus about whatever the vision we wanted to achieve in next couple of months or year, even though from now on, earlier, if we focus our mission, for example, specifically with the mountain, and then if we inhale and then exhale the same vision built up, that will definitely help our body and mind to prepare in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
So to that end, today I think the best we're going to talk about the um, true breathing technique, which will enhance our uh, to survive in the mountain or any of the trekking expedition relevant to to you. So
Mm-hmm.
first one is we're going to talk about the what we call is the normal breathing technique, which we are doing anyway. But however, this time I think the first thing it is important is to we were a little bit conscious about it when we inhale, just kind of maybe do the 5 second inhale and then 5 second exhale. Just this time, I just wanted to focus everyone on your kind of body, what happened, and then just feel the air going through your nose, and then exhale from the either nose or mouth, whichever, just kind of similar time, 5 second or whichever you feel comfortable. And once you do that, then second technique, which is really important for us to in the mountain, is what we call is the we will mostly focus on the exhale, which is automatically triggering the inhale. So that means this time we will just do the time our exhale will be double the time of inhale. So that depend time is depend upon individual, according to your health and then your condition. Someone might take it 4 seconds, some or might be take it 8 seconds. So depend upon whatever the duration you can exhale, then you will just compensate automatically that inhale time for the for your breathing. That's obviously there's a lot of other variety of technique, but I think it just because it's the first time, we just wanted to just normal breathing, but just a conscious with inhale from nose and exhale from mouth. And then second one is obviously we will focusing on exhale as long as possible. And and that's that. And then the third point we gonna quickly talk about what we call is specifically in the Nepal, what specifically with the lawn in the Everest region. Even though I think we talk about the Kumbu cough, which why is that happening? Why? How can we reduce the Kumbu cough, especially if you are going to Everest Base Camp Trek or any of the 8,000-meter climbing? So I think the obviously I think name given to the Kumbu cough is basically it's the Kumbu glacier, and that's how we like Namche Bazaar, and you go to the Everest Base Camp, and then the effect of that specific area. I think the most important thing is I think as we say, as we go up, because of the biometric pressure is low, and a lot of us people are just saying, oh, breathing, breathing, breathing. But actually, what that is done is we have a lot of giving emphasis on inhaling oxygen, but not give enough emphasis on exhaling all the, all the carbohydrate we kind of generate from within us. So, and then also because of the higher we go, the air is a bit dry, and then because so many breaths we have to compensate living on the altitude, then on the air is less moisturized as well, because high air. That will obviously the amount of oxygen we're taking in and so much time that even the oxygen is not enough inside our body, then because of the dry air, eventually what happens is on our throat, there's a dry air. It's not enough moisturizing in our system. That will cause obviously an all sort of problem. Then it's eventually coughing, and then eventually could be, nasty coughing disease. So I think in order to in order to prevent for the Kumbu cough or any of the expedition when you're going, it's best thing to have a muff, like the curving a mouth, some sort of face masks, or like thinner or thicker. And then other way is if you have that, because you will tend to have all the oxygen, all the inhale or exhale air that will moisturize the air, and then that will protect to go through all the dry air inside basically inside your body. So even though sometimes also what we can, our experience is also we can teach is if you put a little bit water onto your face mask, that will obviously any of the air we inhale will a lot more moisturize as well. So what that is, then it will prevent the coughing, or basically it makes the air a little bit more smooth, and then it's not as much dried as we inhale. If you got any question or anything, Mike, and that's about it, guys.
I've read a bit about the breathing stuff. It's quite interesting. I've read, you know, the Wim Hof method.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that book. It was pretty interesting. He did quite a few things with altitude sickness and stuff, didn't he? So
Yeah.
I started doing some of his exercises, but I lasted about a week, and then I just it off. After just a few days, you notice the difference, because you do a test about like holding your breath, how long you can hold your breath, and then you do the exercises. And after a few days, I think I added about 30 seconds to my time of holding my breath. So just being slightly conscious and working on it a little bit made quite a big difference. So I think it's definitely something. I don't know if any of you've seen. He did Kilimanjaro, and he took people, like groups of people, 25 people, and they all had issues like Crohn's or all sorts of different illnesses or diseases. And he basically didn't train them physically. He only did these breathing things with them for the months leading up to the mountain. And he broke the speed record for Kilimanjaro. They did it in like 2 days, and I think only 2 or 3 of them had altitude sickness. Everybody else didn't. On the way up the mountain, they were stopping and doing breathing exercises and all this stuff. But if you haven't read that or seen that, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. He did it twice, and he made them all go bare-chested as well, just in shorts.
Yeah. We'll be cracking mountains, mate, in phys kit.
Yeah, he attempted to do Everest in just shorts and sandals. He got quite high up, and then he could feel his feet were going to get frostbite, so he went back down. But he got high.
Justin, would you like to share your experience, any?
Yeah, I think I've just been conscious of my breathing when I'm doing certain exercises. So if I'm doing like really high intensity stuff, especially when I was cycling a lot, the hand cycling stuff, when I was doing a lot of like really high intensity, high power, long intervals, 4 or 5 minute intervals, then I was really the breathing was so important for me. And I noticed that if I missed a breath with a pedal stroke, then I would lose probably 10 seconds of pace and overall time. So it made a huge difference to my cycling. So I was really aware of it then. So yeah, it plays a huge part, and that's really where I'm coming from. So kind of just repeating what you guys are saying, really, how important it is,
Mm-hmm. Anything from you? Would you like to share your experience from Mont Blanc or Kilimanjaro? Maybe special from Kilimanjaro. Yeah, I want to listen.
Yeah. Tell us about Kili.
Yeah, Kilimanjaro. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
So before we started, I spoke to Chris about altitude sickness and how to overcome the problem, and he said to start doing controlled breathing and stuff like that. But I think the point where I went wrong was I did lots of breathing, but slow and steady breathing, but I did from the chest like this. So I should have done it from concentrating on the belly. So due to lots of long and forceful breathing on the lungs, I think that affected and led to me at the end when I started vomiting blood when I came down. That was not good experience, I think.
We thought we were never going to see you again, mate.
Yeah. I learned it the hard way, I think.
Yeah. So I think it's a very valid point, guys. Basically, if you want to go a lot more detail, basically what it is when we said you breathing from the belly. So majority of our, when we, even in the military, we just say, oh, trust your gut. I didn't understand what is actually trusting our gut. I mean, how the hell we are trusting our gut, But actually, when you're actually looking at the more scientific way and then the more sort of in-depth, obviously doing quite a lot of study on it now. So our majority, we eat the food, isn't it? Whatever we eat, we have the second mechanism. It's going to turn to the energy. Actually started from the belly, isn't it? It's actually where that actually first hand energy is produced from our belly, and then where that is come out from. And then that's why I think a lot of other, if you say in the Eastern culture. There's a lot of, like if you got the headache, you rub the belly clockwise and anti-clockwise, and so a lot of makes sense now. So and then when we do the breathing from the belly, and also that is get the directly maximum amount of the pH from oxygen system to our kidneys and lower limbs, which is really important to filter our blood and everything, basically, filtration, making the energy going towards the blood, towards the neurological system and towards the brain. So actually started from there. So basically what it is if we start expanding our belly more, then that will, when we taking that, go straight down there and it's feed it to the kidney and majority our legs, where that our 40% of our blood is obviously if we have the down there. So this is what we're focusing on. So that is actually the point, the reason why we're doing the belly breathing.
Okay, so if there is anything you guys want to share, your experience or whatever, we have a group, we just share and we just come together, and then maybe Chris have a lot of things coming together in the future. He's doing a lot of research, so we are hoping for like many more other resources from him. So thank you, Justin, thank you, Stefan, thank you, Yuva, and thank you, Chris, for sharing your experience.
Cheers,
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. Bye.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.